Space Marine 2 gameplay overview. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Put on your sunglasses. The hair is bright today. Let's see it.
Ready to make landfall. Here with more, please welcome Saber Interactive's Chief Creative Officer, it's Tim Willits. How you doing, Tim?
Thank you for having me.
Well, are you having a good Gamescom so far?
This has been a great Gamescom, and the reception on the game has been great.
Amazing, wonderful. We got some questions for you. You got the first one in your love.
Yeah, I'd like to know, because this is a follow-up to the game that released back then, and knowing that there's quite a following to the Space Marine universe. I mean, the game itself, that the IP that the franchise is based on, has been ongoing for many years.
Yeah.
What's it like working with a team like Games Workshop to bring something like that to life?
Nice.
Yes, it's been a great honor for us to work with Games Workshop and to also work on the in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. You know, this universe was created 45 years ago, and the influence that it has had on video games that we've played for decades, I don't think many people realize. You know, working with Games Workshop, you know, we worked hand in hand on the story, the setup, the Space Marine chapters, even like the enemies that you fight. So it was a great collaborative effort.
Yeah, no, I can totally imagine. And because of that, with the 45 years, you say, of history, I imagine it's quite a challenge when it comes to making a sequel to a popular game for core fans who've been with you the whole time, but even trying to entice new folks who, like myself, I haven't played the first Space Marine game. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about, you know, what does this mean for those who have played for ages or maybe uninitiated to 40K?
Yes.
Man, it's just looking good, isn't it? It's looking pretty good. Again, level design is like pretty very, very straightforward. Very 360-esque. Don't expect anything like particularly crazy, but I don't think that matters because I think the core, like, fundamentals are good.
That's a great question. It was definitely a challenge to create a game that both respected the franchise, respected the fans, but also was approachable enough for people to play it. Now, I know you said you haven't played Space Marine 1.
Please don't hurt me, Tim. I'll get round to it.
That is totally fine. Yes. Don't worry that, you know, if you haven't played the franchise, jump into Space Marine 2. If you're just a fan of over-the-top, in-your-face action games, this is the game.
That sounds like a bit of us.
Right, that's good. But for the fans that have been there all along the way, they played the originals, how have they helped, you know, your community basically in focusing your development team to make sure the sequel is just right for them too?
Yes. The community, the Warhammer 40,000 community is intense. It's millions.
Intense is putting it lightly, huh? It is a group of people that are crazy. They are crazy. In fact, I think I actually still probably have this poll or this bookmark. Let me see if I can find it. Bummer. Oh, it would have been so cool to talk about it. Anyway, there was like a story that launched years ago, or that came out years and years and years ago, of, I think it was the CIA or the FBI that investigated and looked into like RPG fans, tabletop RPG fans, and their conclusion was that they are mainly a group of unsocial or like antisocial recluses who tend to be loners and are very, very committed to their things. They spend a lot of money and their hygiene tends to be quite poor, which I just find really, really funny. So us, yeah, it was funny. Everybody, it was shared to like the Warhammer subreddit or something, and it was like, I feel personally attacked, but also fair, which was just, it was like, I love the idea of like the government investigating tabletop war gamers, because I think that's what it was. Is it was like, it was specifically war gamers because they were interested in whether they were like skilled enough to be useful in some other pursuit or something. And they just decided like, nope, they are very smart. They're very intelligent. They tend to be a bit of loners, and they also have poor hygiene, which is just like the idea of somebody working in like an FBI office writing that up is really, really funny. It's just funny.
Strong.
Anyway,
And
Well, they love it, right?
they love it.
Passionate amount of love, yeah.
Yes, and so working with Games Workshop, they have their community team, they have their expert writers, and we have talked to the community. We made sure that we are delivering the game and the experience that really is true to the franchise, and to really make you a true Space Marine, to that power fantasy of being the most badass soldier in the universe.
I mean, have you seen the sort of stuff they're up against? It's crazy, right?
I was going to say, looking at it, that was going to be my next question. Actually, is how is this love and this influence reflected in the action and the pace of the game that we're looking at here? Because this looks, well, you said it's quite intense. It looks really full on.
Yeah.
Yes. The key to Space Marine 2 is both the complex melee system and the range combat. One of the things that you will see is, Titus has to use everything in his arsenal, from blocks to hits to dodges to grabs to glory kills.
Nice.
It's really a very visceral, intense, and in your face.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks so good. So do all of them have different kind of that up-close melee ability that we just saw as well? I know there are multiple folks you can play.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of the great things about the game is we have a campaign where you play as Titus, and he has 2 squad mates whom the computer can play them, or your buddies can play with you.
Oh, fun, okay.
Yes.
Great.
And then we have a PvE campaign where you can play as your own Space Marine.
Ooh.
And you can customize your Space Marine. You can be the chapter that you want. You can upgrade.
That's great.
And then that also leads to PvP. So you can go head-to-head with other humans playing as Space Marines.
Oh, that sounds good.
Absolutely.
That's a
super.
bit of
I appreciate that they're representing a probably pretty sizable number, if not the majority of players that will be playing Space Marine 2, which is people not really familiar with it too much. But I would have loved it if they could have gotten some actual Warhammer fans to help with this interview. Because I'll be real, ever since I made a Luke Stevens live clip mentioning that I was interested in this and that I'm a Warhammer fan and stuff, they've been in contact with me, actively talking and sharing updates and stuff. They're very in tune, and I think it's because they know, okay, this is an actual fan, and if we can win him over, and if he likes the game, then we're in for a real treat. And he'll be an advocate for us, which is true. If I like your game, I'll tell people that I really like your game. But I think probably the majority of sales will probably come from people that are more casual fans, or people that are not too familiar with the tabletop or anything like that, which is totally fair. But I would have liked to see one person at the table who maybe is not familiar with it, and then maybe another Henry Cavill type person who is a fan that could talk about it and ask for some of those specific questions and stuff. Yeah, but you're a Thousand Suns player, so yeah, but I also have a broader problem because I play a lot. You can see, we fix the camera. I think this is working now. This one? Nope, hold on, I have to reset it, deactivate, activate, maybe. Yeah, and it's super. So all of this is just filled with Warhammer stuff, and then each of these cases are filled with more. It's this is just filled with orcs. And stuff. So I have a problem. I don't just play Thousand Suns. I play a lot. Got orcs galore, chaos demons, got Necrons. I got a lot. Funnily enough, the only thing I don't really have are Space Marines, which is just a different thing. But yeah, I got a lot. So I understand I'm in deep. I acknowledge that. I admit that. But still, I would like some representation of the giga nerds like me in these interviews.
us. I like that. And here's the range stuff that we're seeing.
Yeah, see, this is what happens when you guys send super chats. He spends it all on toys. I will have you know, ever since I got a 3D printer, I have not actually gone and gotten, I don't think I've had to buy anything with Warhammer. I still have a pile of shame that I'm kind of working my way through. But with the 3D printer, I've been able to print some stuff that you either can't find or sold out everywhere or whatever. Even these. I forget what these guys are called, but they're little bitty beasts of Nurgle, I want to say. And they just have crazy powerful abilities to basically just never die. They regain health and all sorts of stuff. But like those are things where you'd have to pay probably $60 for those, or you can just find somebody who sculpted a model online and just 3D print them yourself and just do that. Yeah, they're kind of like little Jabbas. They look like little Jabbas. So I think if you're into Warhammer and you're interested, do that. But anyway, there's a lot of really good stuff. I recommend if you're interested in Warhammer, find a friend who has a 3D printer or get one yourself. They're cheaper than they ever have been before, and it's amazing. Wicker Man. Yes, that's it. Luke should do a night live stream of a Warhammer campaign. We could unironically do like a little vlog type thing for like of a Warhammer game or something. That could be fun. But anyway, point is, I have a problem. However, I have resisted the problem for a very long time, and now I pretty much have everything I need. I have too many armies at this point. I have too much to sink my teeth into, so I don't need to buy any more. But I do know, I'm not calling out any names. I do know a guy though who's straight up, and I've teased him about this before. It's really funny. Okay, so it's not like I'm saying anything behind anybody's back, but I have somebody I know who's probably gonna see this, who will like, if we go out to eat or something, he's like, oh, I'll cover this on my card and you can just give me cash for your half. I'm like, okay, why cash and not like Venmo or something? And it's because, like an actual crack addict, he wants to use the cash to go and buy Warhammer figures without like his wife knowing, which is really, really funny. And I mean, that's just Warhammer fans for you, you know? It's because it's like, oh, I really want this thing. I really want that. And yeah, I see what he's doing. I see what he's doing, you know? So I've teased him about it before because it's very funny to me. But anyway, yeah, again, it's like if you just replaced Warhammer with like hard drugs, it would sound the same. It's like, yeah, so we'll do things. Then he wants cash so that he can go buy hard drugs without his wife knowing. But in this case, it's actually just Warhammer figures. You know, it's very, very funny. Continuing on.
Being here now, yeah.
This is the thing, like the action is very intense, and at times the number of enemies can get quite overwhelming as well. It's not just about the fact that you're dealing with someone far away, maybe someone up close, because I can deal with one dude.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
He's fine with that.
Tell me about the sort of technology you've had to develop to allow for there to be so much going on the screen at once.
Yes, so the key critical component of this experience.
That was sick.
Yes, that is an awesome glory kill.
We just need to quickly go, nice job, Tim. Like that, Tim.
Yes. So the Swarm engine. The Swarm engine was developed by Saber Interactive in World War Z, and that has been developed, and now we're in Swarm Engine 2, where we can bring, you know, massive amounts of Tyranids, never seen before, and they just come at you and they break apart. And every one of those Tyranids, based on our new AI director, starts thinking, and they're thinking about killing you. And it is an over-the-top war, like epic, like never seen before, epic war, where you are the main fighter.
And is this just going around in the skybox? Because I don't know about you, Henry, but the idea of like loads of Tyranids flying at me sounds kind of fun. Is it something?
Wait, what did you call him?
I don't know about you, Henry, but the idea of like loads of Tyranids flying.
Tyranids. Uh-oh. Sorry, Clem. You're going to get triggered.
At me sounds kind of fun. Is it something that you can see from a distance, or are they like coming at you?
Yeah, they're much scarier.
They're just Tyranids.
Two in it. Aka awkward. It's okay if you don't know the name of the I guess faction, but to mispronounce it twice is really awkward. Well, just a little awkward. Granted, I've mispronounced stuff a lot. I'm kind of the king of it, but it is funny when like the main faction you're fighting are Tyranids. There's no U, it's like a Y. So it's just a little awkward.
Yes, especially when there are hundreds and hundreds.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
does he try to correct her? Does he do like one of those awkward little, so the Tyranids, wink. Does he do that?
They come at you with everything, and you need to use every weapon in your arsenal. You know, every move that you practice to stay alive. You can see here where the Tyranids are
Tyranids. The shoes.
to stay alive. You can see here where the Tyranids are moving into the battlefield, and they're just on their way.
Falling off.
It's nuts. And as they approach, they immediately break out into individual units that have their own AI.
I was going to say, how does that work with the swarm? Are they all on a set path, or as soon as they land, is it just like the fastest route they can get to you and start messing you up?
So our new advanced AI director coordinates the battle.
Nice.
So the swarm can come from different directions. The swarm kind of like breaks apart, like when they separate. That can happen at different times, based on the state of the battle, based on what you're doing, and based on what your Space Marine buddies are doing.
Also
Tim,
quite
you've
reactive.
done it again. Did you see that one?
No, I'll watch
that
out.
one was sick. And watch the show back.
that one was
Oh,
yeah.
yes. I'm so distracted. This looks so good.
You just said that they assess what the like state of the battle is.
Yeah.
So does that mean they're also reactive? And if they're thinking, oh, he's got this lane covered, let's direct some around here to sort of flank. Is that the sort of thing you're talking about?
Yes. So you are a Space Marine. You're a Primaris Ultimate Marine. Okay. But we can't make the game super easy for you.
Nah.
So you'll feel like, yeah, I'm bashing these Tyranids, but then they overwhelm you. And then the AI director can bring in more advanced units from different directions. You know, they can flank you. So the ultimate goal is to feel like you're not going to survive, to feel like this is you're going to lose, but you make it and you win, and it's a great feeling.
It's like at every opportunity, you're just about to like close the gap, feel like you're getting ahead, and then you guys are just like Sebulba, just chucking a wrench in my engines. And, I'm falling back again, and it's all over. Got to work from scratch again.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes. It's very
Good
intense.
reference, Henry.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Very on
Cheers.
brand for you. I like it. Yeah, that gameplay we were just looking at, by the way, the sheer size of it. Yeah, here we go. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we can see a little bit of the swarm here. Maybe.
Yeah, that's a flying. They're flying Tyranids. In this particular battle, they're attacking these huge kind of radio towers,
Nice.
and you just like destroy them as you try to survive, because they start landing. Different units start landing on the same platform that you're on. And
I think this is the same demo that I played at Summer Game Fest, because we did a very similar thing to this. Well, but I don't think it was the chains. So maybe it's different. If it's different, there's at least 2 missions that I've already played, and the game's not been out, where you defend large rectangular objects from swarms of Tyranids. I think it's going to be similar in style to 360 games, so it's probably going to be pretty repetitive. You're going to do a lot of the same stuff over and over again. But again, if the fundamental gameplay is fun, I think that's fine.
And as you can see, there's lots of ways that you can go about killing bad guys.
Yeah, not for you, mate.
So it's not just mindless violence. There is also quite a lot of like objectives, mechanics to be following as well.
Strategy, yeah.
Yes. So if you played the first one, and I know you haven't, that's okay.
I've got some homework to do. I understand.
This is our melee system is much more advanced. It's much deeper, and our range combat system is also much more advanced. So I like to call it the dance of death, where you have your melee, your blocks, your reactions, your critical hits, and then you can also pull up your ranged weapons, take out enemies from a distance, and you really need to learn how to use the tools in your arsenal of death to win the battle.
And it's not just the people right in front of you. I know we're taking things off the chain here, the Tyranids, but the chain's integrity in the top right corner. So I'm clearly guessing that if you let that get to 0...
Yes.
So good for you.
Mission over for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Were there any other technical developments that really plussed up Space Marine 2, by the way?
This is our own technology.
Nice.
And when you build the technology for a game, you can make it awesome. We talked about the swarm. We talked about the AI director. It's crossplay.
No.
Yes.
Ooh, I love that.
So you can beat up your buddies.
I will.
will.
You're first, by the way.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yes, and then you can play solo, you can play PvE, and there's a full-fledged PvP mode as well. So it's a very dense game. It's as dense as a Space Marine.
Oh, I love it. So give us some more juicy information. When can we actually get our hands on it?
So Space Marine 2 comes out September 9th. If you pre-order it now, you can play it early.
Yes,
It's right around the corner.
Wow.
We're testing the servers, making sure that the infrastructure can survive the Tyranid horde that's
Nice.
coming. We feel good. The reactions to the gamers here playing it's great. We're excited, and we want to get it out the door.
Amazing.
Thank you, Tim.
It sounds like you're super busy. We'll let you get back to work on getting on the Horde. Thanks for
Yes.
stopping by.
Run out of time, Tim. Crack on, bud.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, though. I'm definitely playing.
Okay, that's just mean. This here reminds me of them cheap artificial banana sweets. She seems very nice. She seems very nice. And the energy is good. That's why you have somebody like these hosts doing this. It's because you need the energy to hype it up and get people excited. So I think that's fine. She did well. Having said all that, I think the game looks really solid. Again, I don't think it's going to be like a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. I don't think it's going to be received like that by the media. But I do think people who are interested in Warhammer, who like the look of just bloody, messy chaos, which the game is built around, I think they'll have a great time with it. So I also expect that to do really well. It's one of the top wish listed games on all of Steam. So I think it's going to pop off, sell many copies. Not like a Black Myth type response, but I do expect it to have hundreds of thousands of players when it drops. So that's my expectation. But I'll be keeping an eye on it. I'm very excited because it's going to be big. There's a lot there. There's a lot there, especially in the PvE and then the PvP. There's a lot. I think a lot of people are going to jump in. He took my thing.